So welcome everyone to the Dynavision Contributions and Declarations webinar, which is being hosted by, of course, Dynavision with the support of Companion. We're happy to see you joining us today. Just so you know, this session will be recorded and everyone will have access to the recording afterwards. Now, I noticed that most of the attendees today are consultants, so I'm going to keep the introduction short so we can focus on the demo. My name is Jens de Kolvenaar. I am a partner manager at Dynavision, where I am responsible for sales, marketing, and of course, partner management. And today I'm accompanied by the one and only Dynavision product owner, Ben.
Good afternoon. Also from my side, a warm welcome to this webinar, and see you later after the introduction of Jens.
All right, thank you, Ben. If you would have any questions during the presentation, you can pose them in the Q&A section of the chat. Now, before we're going to dive into the demo, I'd like to tell you a short story about an ISV called Dynavision. There once was a Belgian team of consultants that noticed that BC partners were building the same types of customization over and over again. They thought to themselves, why not standardize these features and pour them into SaaS apps? That is when Dynavision was born. The team developed an app portfolio of about 30 add-ons for Business Central with a 100% SaaS focus, allowing them to keep the apps up to date, no matter how many updates Microsoft might push for Business Central. The team decided to focus on distribution, general and trade verticals, as well as on the drinks or beverages sector, because we Belgians, of course, are very much known for those sectors, especially the last one. Last but not least, we are backed by Capital A venture capital firm that supports our growth. If you're curious about our complete offer, check out our website, dynavision.app. Here are just a few snapshots of our wonderful team that is keeping our partner base very free. You'll get to meet them once we start cooperating. As you can see, we were present at Directions last year. This year, we'll also be attending Directions in Vienna, where you can visit our booth B32. We will be hosting a competition with some wonderful prizes, so follow us on LinkedIn if you want to stay informed about that. Our ecosystem of partners is growing fast. This year alone, we welcomed over 20 new partners, so don't hesitate to contact us if you want to become part of this wonderful community. You can just go to our website, click on Contact Sales in the top right corner to get in touch with us, and then we can talk about the specifics of becoming a partner. All right, so this was a short introduction from my part. Ben, over to you.
Thank you, Jens, for the introduction. So I'm switching now to my system. Before I will show you the functionality in Business Central, I just want to point out that on Dynavision.app, our website, you can find all the information of all the different apps that we offer. And also for the Dynavision Contribution and Declaration, you can find an information page where you find, in a nutshell, what the information is. And if you scroll down, you will also see an overview of the features. And at the end, you find the download section where you also find the manual that explains the ins and outs of the app, as the same as we do for all our apps. So switching over to Business Central, it's a newly installed sandbox. And if I go to the extension management, as most of you know, there you will see that I have installed the Dynavision Contributions app together with our Dynavision Core and Layouts app that I used for some other demonstration previously. So what is the meaning of the contribution app? In countries such as Belgium, but also other European countries, there is quite some regulation also where contributions are involved. For example, in Belgium, you have Bebat for batteries, you have Recupel for electronic devices. So if you sell them, you have to also take into account a certain amount for that contribution. There is also there are different kinds of contributions and also different kinds of applying those contributions. For example, some of them are only valid if you're selling in the domestic market, but not in the abroad market. Some of them are only valid for B2B, other are also valid for B2C. So we wanted to create a flexible system that can handle all those cases in a configurable way. So the setup starts on the contribution types page, where where we can see a first overview. For this demo, I created 2 types, so you can create as many types as you want. I took the 2 examples from the Belgian market, as we are a Belgian-based company. There we have Bebat and Recupel. So you see that I created those 2 types. And for the different sales and purchase documents, we can link here a general ledger account. So the amount of money will be posted directly on the GL account. That's the basic idea of the contributions app. For each type, I can now create the different categories. The list of those categories for the Bebat here, for the batteries, it's contribution for batteries. It really depends what kind of battery that you are selling. That is, for example, part of your good that you are selling is, for example, in a remote control or something like that, or in an electronic device. So depending on the battery, you will have a different type of, you have a type of Bebat contribution with different categories. So the list of these categories is in fact a list that I downloaded from the Bebat site. They provide the information in an Excel, for example. I just used RapidStart to import it. Same goes for the Recupel, where I also imported the categories. Here I didn't try to translate everything, but this is for electronic devices. It has a code that is provided by the organization with a description. So over RapidStart, I just imported those categories, and now linked to those categories, we can set the different tariffs. The tariffs will be applied on the sales document or on the purchase documents later on. So this is a flexible setup where you first of all you can decide, will we apply this for certain items or for certain resources, because we can link the contribution to items or resources. Then we will link that to one of the categories for that specific type. And then we can decide, will we apply this on sales documents, on purchase documents, or on both of them. So we even keep the possibilities open to expand those selections later on. Then 2 important fields, because as I told you already, some of those contributions will only be applied on domestic customers, or only on B2B customers, or on B2C customers. So that's why we use the general business posting group and the VAT business posting group to define if a certain contribution will be applied, yes or no. So in this case, I will only apply it for the domestic market, for the domestic VAT business posting group. All other fields then are related to the tariff, to the price that will be calculated and added to the sale line or to the purchase line. So there we also have a VAT posting group, because we could set the price inclusive the VAT, and then we could have a possibility to extract that from the price if you're selling exclusive VAT. So, and at the end, you see the normal fields, a starting date and an ending date for that tariff, because it's possible that from the 1st of January, there will be another tariff applicable, and then you can update already your tariff list in this case. Tariffs is only one thing. The other thing that we can do is also link a text. So for example, what is quite common for the Bebat, in B2B context, it will be sold. Then I can add a little text field, Bebat contributions, and below the applied contribution with the tariff will be inserted on the sales document. You will see that in a second. And for example, for the B2C customers, the price of the item includes already the Bebat. And then on the sales order, there will only be a text mentioning that the Bebat contribution is already included in the price. And here you can see that we will print this for every category of the Bebat. So because we didn't set a specific category, it will be a global text that we will insert here. What I didn't mention now, just ago, the categories and the text also offer translations. So if you have multi-language customers, you can also set the translations for those texts and for those categories. Last but not least, it's also possible to link a certain dimension value to the contribution type. So each GL line that will be inserted on the purchase or sales line, when posting, it will also include this dimension for reporting later on. So that's the general setup of the contribution types with the tariffs and the text that we want on the documents. There is now one more thing that you need to do. On the item list, I created an item called contributions just for the demonstrations. And on the item card, I can now select the contributions action to open all the contributions linked to that document. So what I can see here that for item 3, so my contribution item, for the base unit of measure, I will include a Bebat and a Recupel contribution of a specific category. So the category depends on which battery or which type of electronic device the contribution item is. And then I can also specify the quantity factor. For example, if you have 2 batteries in the device, you can then set here the quantity factor is not 1, but it's 2. So it's just to calculate the correct amount of contributions. Most of the time it will be calculated on the base unit of measure, but we offer also other possibilities to apply a contribution depending on the gross weight, net weight, or the volume. So in certain cases that can you offer also the flexibility. And I will immediately also see that there is one corresponding tariff for that, so that when I apply this on a sales document, that there is a tariff available for that. So switching now back to my customers, because that's the other master data. In this example, I will make 2 kinds of sales orders. I will make a sales order for Districo, which is a B2B customer. And then I also have on the end of the list, I created a new customer for B2C sales. And there is what I want to show you, how we can make the setup quite flexible. So of course, I need to create a new general business posting group, and I created a general business posting group, domestic B2C. So that's to differentiate between B2B and B2C customers. The B2B customer will just be domestic. And in this case, the system will decide, okay, it's just a text that I will insert, or it is a text with a certain tariff. So if I go back to my role center and I create a sales order, and I will use my B2C customer. I will start with B2C, because this will only insert a certain text to indicate that the contributions are included in my sales price. So when selecting the contribution item, we see that there is a comment inserted, inclusive Recupel. And I've just noticed that I forgot to set the translation to English, but it's also possible that the customer is a Dutch customer. What we see now is if I enter a quantity, nothing is changing, because it's only a text mentioning that the price is already including the contribution. So very simple. If I now go to the B2B customer, in this case, and I will insert the contributions item, because here it's a B2B, it's just domestic. What I will immediately see, it's inserting my text line that I have set for the B2B customers, and then it's adding the 2 lines with the GL accounts, one for the Bebat and one for the Recupel contribution. At this moment, when I will validate the quantity, the other lines, the contribution lines, are automatically synced with the corresponding quantity. So there is really a sync between the lines. And if I would update now, and I say I will sell 15 pieces, you see immediately the syncing of those lines. Everything is synced to keep it synchronized with the quantities. In this case, I've set up a warehouse flow also, just to demonstrate. When I create a warehouse shipment, the warehouse shipment will only include the initial item, because that's an inventory item. The GL accounts are not on a warehouse shipment. And if, for example, I will just say I want to ship only 10, and I will post the shipment, it's posting the quantity 10 for the items. And what is now happening also in the background, that is that for my contribution parts, I automatically shipped also 10. That is nothing, I would say, very special. That's depending on the sales and receivable setup. For the consultants between us, you know or you don't know that we have a standard option in VC to auto post the non-inventory lines on the warehouse, and I just said, okay, I want to use the option attach assigned, because that is syncing also the quantities between the warehouse shipment and your contribution lines on the sales or purchase document. So that's the part of, I would say, the sales. Purchase is identical. So if you insert a document on the purchase side, a purchase order, and you insert the items and they have linked contributions, the lines will be inserted depending on the setup, and you can also post that correspondingly. For the declaration card part, because most of the time, if you have contributions, there is also a kind of reporting that you need to do to show or to declare what is the amount of batteries or electronic devices you have sold. We didn't create a report for that, but we created a list. So for all the posted sales contributions, we have also a table with all the data. We created a list of that. We made something similar for the I have here the purchase side. I wanted to show you the sales contributions. So I see here the complete list. So every posting that has been done is also registered in this history table. And the nice thing in Business Central is that you now can create analyze views on those list pages. I've created 3 different variants of my analyst view. It's just as simple as you're just clicking a little bit and you have a kind of a pivot table. And if you really want to use the Copilot, you can also use Copilot to create an analyze view on this. I created a simple overview to see the overview of my Bebat and Recupel in one global overview. And then afterwards, I did a split up just by adding some filters on the views, and I can very easily now see what is the reporting on my contributions, and with the right mouse click you can also export this to an Excel. So that's the most, I would say, integrated overview, analyze view that you can use. The other thing that we do is we also implement some APIs with our apps. And if I switch now to Power BI Desktop, where you can see I use the standard BC connector for Power BI. In the APIs that are available on my environment, I have also one for the Dynavision Contributions. And if I click it open, we will see that I have a complete list of different pages. So also the setup pages, the tariff pages, and so on are included in the APIs. So you have access to all data you need to create your own Power BI report. I just imported also the posted sales contributions. So it's the same data as we saw in my analyst view now in Power BI. And very quickly I created a simple report to give me, I would say, the similar overview in Power BI as I had in the analyze view. So for the reporting part, for the declaration part, we offer the data in list pages or in easy-to-use APIs for creating a Power BI report, or you can also use the APIs in Power Query, where you then make the reporting directly in Excel. So offers you all the possibilities. So we are coming to the end, and I suggest that Jens takes over again and shows the following slides, where I made a small overview of what we have seen.
Taking up.
Should I click?
I will,
1 second.
all right.
So just a reminder, all the information can be found on Dynavision.app. On the next slide, I just gave you an overview of its configurable setup. You can configure the contribution types. You can then insert the categories with translations. Same for tariffs and comments, depending on your contribution type. The contribution can be assigned to items. I only showed the items, but the same is valid for resources, so you can go to the resource card and link some contributions. The tariffs and the comments are using the general business and the VAT business posting group on the document to decide which contribution or which text should be inserted and linked to the item. And then we support the different warehouse flows also, following the standard behavior that you can set up in the sales and receivable setup or in the purchase and payable setup. And for the reporting part, we offer the Analyze view and APIs for Power Query or Power BI. So that brings me to the end of the short demonstration. I hope it was an interesting demo, and I hand over to Jens for the final words.
All right, thank you, Ben. So before we stop or end the webinar, are there any questions from the people who have joined us today? The chat. Okay. If anyone has a question, feel free to type it in the chat. If not, then I'm going to already thank you all for joining us today. If you are interested in the Contribution Declarations app or any other app of our ecosystem, don't hesitate to contact us. We're more than happy to talk to you about the opportunities our apps have. So you can do this by scanning the QR code on the screen, or just surf to our website where you can contact us through the contact form. Okay, I don't see any questions coming in, so I guess we can end the webinar here. Thank you everyone for joining.